Hey guys, what is up? So we are, oopsie. Okay, sorry. What is this? This is Galician Championship that is being... Hey, Joanna. Hello, I was just messaging someone here. How are you, Joey? Okay, so this, well, every Easter's holiday, no, every Easter's week, Holy Week, is it called Holy Week in English? This week, always the Galician Championship takes place. So I've played in the past, but this year I'm not playing. And more or less every player in the tournament I know, so it's nice to see the games covered on Chess24. And I was going to go through them. We're close to the final rounds, so the games are being really interesting. We are in round 7 out of 8, which I didn't know. I thought there were 9 or 10. Okay, so this is so tomorrow is the last round. Okay, cool. And I think we have covered the 8 first games on Chess24. So let's quickly say how the tournament situation is, and then I will have a look at the games of today. Hey Ravelani. So I think Marcos is leading the tournament. Marcos is a really strong player. He's doing a great tournament, and I know him very well. He's from my hometown, and it's amazing the tournament he's doing. Especially this game in round 4, defeating international master Julio Suarez. And today in round 7, he drew against some other international master, but this is more normal because, you know, if you're in the lead, tomorrow is the last round, they make a draw. That's more normal. But round 4, defeating Julio, that was a great result. Anyway, Marcos doing a great tournament, playing in board 1 against the international master Diego Piñeira. They drew. Samu also very strong, doing a great tournament. You're early today. Have you slept at all last night? Hey, Ravelanim. Early? What? Hey, what? It's 8:30. It's 8:30 p.m. here. So that means I've been almost 10 hours. 10 hours since I woke up. Ah, you mean like I start stream early? Okay. Maybe that's what you mean. Compared to the usual time. Okay, so Samu drew against Enrique Reimalde. Both of them are doing... I mean, this is interesting. In this tournament, the favorites are not there. Or, let's say, these 3 guys, Marcos, Samu, and Enrique Rey, are definitely not the ones we would bet before the tournament to be in the lead. Now, from board 3 on, there are some of the favorites. For example, Antonio Pazos, drawing against Julio. Those are 2 strong players. Avelino winning against David Carballo, cool. Diego Guerra, international master, drawing against Medarde, one of the favorites, cool. Yes, you meant early stream. Okay. And Pablo Tubillo still playing, so we're gonna follow that game. And he's playing Inés. Wow, that's an interesting game. I like both of them, how they play. Board number 7. Oh, only 2 games going already. Board number 7, 2 people that I only know by name. I've never met them. José Ramón González and Gumersindo Rocha. And in board 8, an unknown player for me, rated 1500. Is so strange to see him in that board against Javier Barral, who I know very well. We're gonna play against him in the next round of the chess league, and he won. Okay, so let's go to the games, because that for sure you don't know these names. I know them because it's the Galician tournament. But yeah, let's go have a look at the game at the games of today's round. So board number 1, Marcos Lorenzo against international master Diego Piñeira. Marcos Lorenzo is not a master, but he was like 2300 in the past, and now he's getting back there. He's getting stronger lately. I like him a lot. He's like a role model for me as a chess player. I've played him twice over the board. No, sorry. I've played him twice in classical chess, and I have a good score because both games I blundered and I got lucky. I won one and drew the other, but he's stronger than me. he's definitely stronger than me. And yeah, then also over the board, but blitz games, I remember once he totally destroyed me, and another one I mated him in the middle of the board. Those were blitz, like 15 minutes games, and we might have played more. I can't tell, can't remember. He's from my hometown, so we really were in the same tournaments many times. However, Diego Piñeira, he's not from my hometown, so I only played him once, and it was in this year's chess league, and I lost. I lost, but it was a funny game. He's very strong. He's definitely one of the favorites to win the tournament, and from all the favorites, he's the only one playing in board number 1, so to me, he's the main candidate to win the tournament, even though Marcos has all the chances to. So this is what happened in board number 1. d4, e6. I'll try to comment positions, although I don't I don't play the Nimzo Indian, so Out with friend. It's a pity because yeah, here we have the camera, the live broadcast from the event. It's a pity they don't show the first boards. Like, oh, this guy. What's the name of that guy? Yeah, if people walk, we can see them, but first boards are probably around here in the back, which is a pity. Hey Ray Clay, what is up? So I'm not a Dimso Indian player, so I'm out of theory already in move number 3. But I guess the usual stuff here is knight c3, right? Knight c3 seems normal. Well, actually, I think the usual stuff is this position with knight f6, then knight c3, and then the pin bishop b4. That's what I know. That's the main line, the most well-known line. And okay, with the check first, I guess if knight c3 happens, you would transpose with knight f6, or maybe you go d5, taking advantage of the pin one move earlier. Great, and great to be here. Nice. Okay, so bishop d2, interesting. At the same time, seems a pretty safe move to me. And now a5. Your VC bot showed up. Oh yes, showed up many times. Yeah, I approved them this morning, and I still need to do the captures to share on the Discord channel. But yeah, so many VC bots there. Thank you. Thank you for all those. Familiar name? What familiar name? Okay, so a5 already a really interesting move. You were determined. Yeah, you tried. You did several, and yeah. Thank you for those. Okay, this opening is nuts. I mean, it's not nuts, but a5. Look at that. So black is decided not to trade the bishop yet. So white is gonna have to spend one tempo at some point by playing a3 if he wants to force black to trade on d2. Of course, black is wasting a tempo too, playing a5, but I guess black is saying, I'm gonna have some space and control b4. I don't know, it's already weird. It's not following the principles in a way. Okay, now some developing move. d6, very slow approach, not fighting for the center. Now, of course, the bishop is totally committed to trade on d2, or even on c3 if knight c3 is played. Now a3, white doesn't want to. White wants to just force the trade and play e4 and have all this space. Yeah, makes sense. Queen d2, logical. Knight c6, that's a tricky move. I don't know if I can see the time spent in this move. 2 minutes already in d6. So players are out of theory, it seems. a5 was played fast, but then knight f3 was maybe not expected by black, and then both players start playing moves. Of course, bishop takes d2 is played immediately because there's no other move. But yeah, okay, players are out of theory, it seems. But knight c6 is a strange move, strange looking move to me. It's not the usual. I mean, black is playing. I don't know. I guess black wants to play e5 now that he's left with the light square bishop, But knight c6 definitely removes the option to go c5. So I'm usually not a fan of knight c6 in many openings, so I might be biased there. Knight c3, knight f6, and e4 I expect. And castles. Yes. Bishop e2 maybe. Yes. Hey Karmar! What's up? How you doing? I'm watching some games here from the Galician Championship. When is the next Spanish stream? I don't know. When? I mean, I should probably ask Quartillo if he's free tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last round of the Galician Championship, and we might comment the games in Spanish. I don't know. It's just an idea. I'll text him. Any day, I can do a stream in Spanish any day for you, Joanna, because besides you and maybe three followers I have from Spain. Usually the other night I'll play knight f6 and knight c3. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of knight c6 because it blocks the c pawn. So from the two breaks we're gonna have c5 and e5, it's already committing for e5. So I guess e5 is gonna be played very soon by black, and we're gonna see a King's Indian defense where the black bishops have been traded already. So in general, that's good for black. Yeah, e5 was immediately played here. And I have a few minutes because someone will stream soon. Someone who impressed Nakamura recently, yes? Did he? How so? Did Nakamura talk about Tijan? I'm sorry I don't follow Nakamura. I mean, I follow his over-the-board tournaments only. I don't follow his streams. This stream is to attract Spanish viewers, so next stream you can have a substantial Spanish audience. Well, I'm speaking English here. I don't know how that attracts Spanish viewers. Yes, Naga was talking about his puzzle rush in one of his latest streams. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Oh, Fernando is there. I just see Fernando Sánchez Ayer, one of the big favorites if he was playing. I think he's not playing. No, he's not playing. He's definitely not playing. So he must be a helper arbiter. Okay. The topic might be of more interest to Spanish people. I don't know. It's just chess games from. I mean, what is interesting for me about this topic is that I know the people playing. It's just the only thing interesting. But despite that, it's just chess games of a certain level. It's not grandmaster level because the best Galician player, well, the best Galician player is the grandmaster, but he doesn't live in Galicia. So, yeah, whenever Galicia produces a grandmaster, they travel away. So in this tournament, the best players are around this level. Diego Spiñeira, 23, 2400. We have a couple of 2400s, I think, in the tournament. So sad face because people leave. No, I mean it's okay. Actually, we have good schools here, and for example, Spanish #1 Paco Vallejo studied chess during his youth here in Galicia. Alexei Shirov, when he was Spanish, he was playing here in a Galician team. So yeah, we produce and attract talent, but for some reason, then yeah, people is not here for the Galician Championship, which I don't blame them. um, okay. Yeah, whatever. By the way, our best, maybe some of you know him. The best Galician player is Ivan Salgado, who was Spanish number 2 back in a day, but now it's around number 5. Um, Ivan Salgado, and I love his way of playing and his understanding. And he's not only Galician; he's from Ourense. He's from my hometown too. The same as Marcos Lorenzo, precisely. Anyway, so we finally have a King's Indian defense here after e5, especially if d5 is played, with which I think would be the normal move here. Yeah, d5. And we have the typical... I'm sure you all have seen games of King's Indian precisely from Nakamura or Kasparov, or yeah, some players. Timur Rajabov likes to play it with black all the time. Giri sometimes played it, but Robin van Kampen is a fan too. Alexander Grishuk. Yeah, many players favor the King's Indian defense. The main difference between this and the King's Indian is the black's bishop. The black bishop is just disappeared from the board. So usually in the King's Indian defense you have this on g6 and the bishop on g7, and that's a terrible bishop because it is behind all these dark square pawns. While white has a great black bishop on e3. So in general this should be a good thing for black. But of course white has space and white has similar ideas. c5 is usually the break that white does in the King's Indian. So castle, rook c1, c5, we'll see something like that. So knight back to b8, that's also a strange move. So this knight is doing strange moves. First knight c6 and now knight back to b8. The normal would be knight e7, the usual move, King's Indian type, because you want to play f5 in the future. But I guess he wants to control c5 very fast. So that might be a reason to play knight back to b8, to go fast to c7, d7, sorry, to control the c5 break. That makes sense. And white played castle and a4. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I expected knight d7, but if knight d7, b4 might happen, right? b4 might happen, then white will have always c5 at some point, although b6 can be played here. So yeah, this is interesting and tricky. b6, then rook fc1, and white starts building some pressure. So a4 was interesting to prevent b4 forever and ever. We see this typical setup of a backward pawn and one pawn of the opponent blocking the advanced pawn. So in general this pawn is stopping these two pawns, which is good for black. So now whenever we go b3 or b4, the outcome is white is going to be left with an isolated pawn on a3. So that's good, because now there's never going to be a pawn on b4 supporting the c5 break. Okay, so a4, interesting. And white plays c5. Yeah. Very logical too. Okay, Pieszka is streaming. Yeah, so white decided, okay, then I'm not gonna get b4, let's do the break ASAP, because next move would possibly be knight e6 or knight d7, stopping this idea, so he goes for the break first. And this is a very typical idea. Actually, in the King's Indian defense, there are lines where you go c5, like at the first moment you can go c5, because you don't really worry if black takes, I don't know what black did, probably didn't take, yeah, knight e7. Back, c5. Well, if black takes, we take on e5. So in this case, it's very easy. Black would lose a lot of control on the center. Well, actually, maybe we don't take immediately on e5, because if we take on e5, we need to calculate what happens after rook e8. According to the bar, that jumps now, but now is, yeah, according to this, white is winning. So maybe knight takes pawn is the move here. Oh, I should turn the engine off. Yeah, and f4 it says. How can I turn the engine off? Because that's probably consuming some CPU. Here? Yeah, no computer analysis, perfect, and no bar. But yeah, we take here, and what the engine was suggesting is after rook e8, f4, and white is totally great. So, knight b7 was played, which makes sense if I can put the move on the board. Sorry. Yeah. And I guess now it's threatening to take on c5, so he would take on d6, takes. And typical ideas here in the King's Indian is to play some rook to c1 and then knight b5 and sneaking into c7, either with rook or with knight, and at the same time put pressure on d6, which maybe with queen b4 we can add more pressure, but in this case we need to be careful to defend e4 first, right, to be able to play knight b5. So let's see how Marcos did it. h3 first. h3, that's interesting. So he might be scared about some knight g4 ideas. I'm not sure really why. Not really sure why, but okay. Anyway, this is fighting against this bishop also, because now the bishop has no good squares. Look at these pawns. All these white pawns are controlling the desired squares for the bishop. Can I draw? I cannot draw here, right? No. Okay. All right. On the other hand, it's a contact point, so I'm scared at some point some g5, g4, or even bishop takes h3 can happen. But yeah, for the moment, black seems away from having those. Okay, knight c5 seems a really good move. It's putting pressure on e4. So now knight b5 is going to be harder to achieve, and also the knight might come to b3. That's an immediate threat to defend against queen e3. Okay, that's oopsie. Sorry, mouse click. My logical, my natural thought was queen c2, but on the other hand, you probably want the c file for the rooks because it's the only open file, and putting the queen there in a position where it's going to be hard to move it from there and keep e4 defended. You can still go rook c1, queen b1, rook c2. No, you cannot go rook c2, you can defend e4. So I guess on e3 might coordinate better. Also, from here it's a bit more active. It has a threat that I didn't realize. It has the threat of knight takes e5, winning a pawn, because the d6 pawn is overloaded. And from here it can also get to the attack with queen g5 or queen g3 at some point. So yeah, queen e3, much better than the natural, maybe not so natural, queen c2. Queen a5, defending the knight. And now knight d2. Knight d2, this is also a very typical idea in the King's Indian, the knight going to c4, knight d2 to c4, to put more pressure on the weak d6 pawn. And in this case, with the queen on a5 makes all the sense. Yeah, also knight d2 usually prepares the break f4, which is the only break that, after c5 is the only break left for white usually. Bishop there, not scared about knight c4, and f4. So this is an interesting decision. I would say there were a couple of interesting ideas here. Knight c4 would be... Hey, Kingly Bingley, you have the analysis. Oh, thank you. I'm not an expert in this opening, but trying to understand. I'm probably missing a lot of stuff, especially after I turned the engine off. Yeah, the problem with knight c4 is, okay, it attacks one thing, so black has to well, it attacks two things. So black has to defend them. So queen c7, queen a6 seems that knight takes e5 could be a problem, so queen c7. And what did we achieve here? Are there a few super GMs there? There are GMs here in Galicia living, but they don't play this championship. So in this championship, you see the strongest player is 2400. There are a couple of 2400s, and probably the third one in the ranking is this one, Diego, who is very well placed to win the tournament, actually, because the other two guys had some mistakes in this tournament. Yeah, the problem with knight c4 and queen goes to the only logical square is now the knight is doing nothing, and b5 will come with tempo, and then black will have counterplay. He must be going for a GM norm. Yeah, but he's being international master and this sort of rating 2350 for a long time now. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether he's gonna go for it. I know he's... Well, I played him this year. I played this guy in the chess league, and he's a teacher. He's a chess teacher. So for the last years, he's been teaching kids, and I don't think he's taking competition too seriously. He's more of a chess teacher guy now. It's hard to be both, right? It's hard to improve your own game and teach kids at the same time. And I should know that because I do the same. So I don't see him going for GM norms. I see some other guys in this tournament going for GM norms, but not this one. Okay. So knight c4 was positionally tempting, but then it's not so interesting. However, f4, what Marcos does, makes a lot of sense, because in the last moves, which seemed good moves by black, knight c5, putting pressure on e4, queen a5, defending the threats, putting pressure on the queen side, etc., preparing maybe b5, b4. In the last moves, what black has done is putting some pieces in the queen side away from the king, so it makes a lot of sense to start attacking now. f4, the typical break, and now after takes, well, if he doesn't take on f4, he has to find a good move. It would be so lovely now for black to put a knight on d7 to be able to retake with a knight on e5. But the last move, bishop d7, might have been a problem for that. So I guess black has to take. And after takes, he will take with rook and bring the other rook, I guess. Let's see what happens. Yes. He takes with rook, yes. And 98. Ooh. That's a good move. So, in this position, white is bringing the army. White is going to play rook, it's going to double rooks. Actually, rook takes f6 might be a threat even, instead of bringing the other rook to start an attack. But okay, maybe that's too much. And e4 is defended 4 times, so the knights are really doing nothing against e4. So 98, that's not the easiest move to do, right? Hey Bobby Fischer, what's up? What is black trying to do? f5 maybe? No. All right, you. I'm fine, thanks. Having a look at the games in this tournament. 98 is not the easiest move to make or to understand. First of all, I don't know where that knight is going, unless after f5 it goes back to f6. If the knight goes to c7, it can go to c7, but it doesn't feel like the best square for the knight, unless you go to b5 and trade everything. Why are you not playing the Galician Championship? That's a good question. To be honest, I could. This year I had what I need to have, which is holidays. I don't work this week, so I could have played, but I was so tired and so tired lately that yeah, I didn't feel with strength to do it. I've played in the past, but yeah, this year I prefer to take some rest and do some other stuff. Yeah, basically. And I enjoy watching games, so that's cool. I'm having a look. Oh, this is Walter. Good player too. Is it a Benoni? No, it was an IMSO-Indian that transposed into something very similar to a King's Indian, but without bishop, without dark square bishop. So it started with an IMSO-Indian where the bishop on b4 took the bishop on d2. And then white played e4, so he had c4, d4, e4, and black played d6 and e5. So d5 was played, white played the break on c5, took on d6. Like a King's Indian defense, but without the dark square bishops. c5 was never played by black. Looks a bit like a Benoni, yeah, but c5 was never played. It was c5 by white was played. And then c takes d6, c takes d6. So, yeah, and now after f4, e takes f4, rook takes f4. Now we have this structure. Anyway, I think the draw was agreed a couple of moves later, so let's see. b5, so he went for b5. He's fine with having the knight on e8, defending the pawn on d6. Maybe that's the only purpose. Knight a2. Stopping b4. Now queen a7, and I think we don't have more moves. No, we don't have more moves, so they agreed on a draw here. So I guess I've seen a few moves, a few GM games where the knight move is to push f5. Yeah, then the knight comes back to f6. Yeah, that was my first thought, but I'm not really sure if black can go f5 here. Maybe now it can, but back before queen a7 was played, f5 could be answered with e5, and okay, maybe in this case this is still a move because the rook is on f4, but I thought the knight would be hanging here, so this is risky. Even this hangs the knight on d2. Okay, maybe f5 can be played, but only for tactical reasons, because from a positional point of view, d6 is weak, the knight is defending only with d6, the reaction e5 seems very natural. E takes f also, yeah, e takes f also in this case, because we have the rooks here, yeah. Okay, so I guess after queen a7, black offered the draw, I guess. And because there's one round left, they're both tied for first. It's like a GM draw, right? Okay, it was an interesting game. We cannot say it was it was not a fight, although it seems a bit early to take a draw. I like white. If any, I like white in this position. I think white has... I think white has a good position, but yeah, on the other hand, nothing's clear. Nothing's clear here. So much space. Yeah, white has a space. White has control over the breaks that black might have. Black has this terrible pawn on d6 defended by a knight on e8. That cannot be good. But on the other hand, black is solid. This knight is nice on c5, and everything seems defended. And now there's a big threat of trading queens. But yeah, hard to assess. Anyway, I think I'm gonna move on because this game wasn't so exciting after all. Let's have a look at... You know what? There's one game going. Oh no, it already finished. Okay, never mind. Now the ultimate question. If you are Lorenzo, do you accept the draw here? That's a good question. My bet is black offered a draw here and white took it. That's my bet, because you know last move was black, and let me see, probably the move was thought for not for a long time, only 3 minutes. Yeah, I guess it's tough. It's tough. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. Yeah, 200 points higher, but as I said at the beginning, Marcos was 2300 in the past, and he's getting strong now back. He had some years that he were a bit low, but now he's going back to his level, and he's an attacking player. He's really an attacking player. He's very good attacking. And the thing with Diego Espiñeira, the black side, the black player, he's very good at defending. so yeah, it would be hard to be Marcos in this position and being offered a draw. It's like a lot of pressure, because he's also tied for first in the tournament unexpectedly. Marcos is maybe number 6 or 7 in the starting rank list. So he's tied for first, 1 round left. Position is promising but not clear, and you play against a player that is very well known by being such a great defender, and he just played 98 2 moves ago, like defending everything. And yeah, I would probably take the draw. But in my case, yeah, I'm even lower rated than Marcos, so in my case it makes even more sense. But yeah, sometimes you have to offer draws in the precise moment. Okay, we have a game that's reached something similar to an endgame here, so it's also a draw between 2 players that were also not favorite, I think, when the tournament started, but they're there. Samu and Enrique Reimalde. Okay, so Samu plays d4. I think he always plays d4. I have 2 games against him, I think, and 1 against Enrique. Good results for me. Wow, bishop f5. Okay. So up to this point, this looked like a King's Indian defense, right? g6, d6. Now if bishop g7, e4, we would be in the main lines. But bishop f5, what is this? This looks like a newbie move, right? Like, okay, oh no, he's gonna play e4, let's stop e4. But the typical It's a fancy line. I don't know. I mean, I think I've never seen it, or maybe I didn't give credit to this move if I've seen it. Funny. Okay, funny. Fanti, I don't know what. You've seen it? Okay. I mean, one thing that this bishop does, whenever you move a bishop in the opening, you weaken this pawn over here. So now queen b3 would make all the sense, I think. But also maybe trying to prepare e4, because now black prevented e4. What do you do? It's not easy. We would love to play queen c2 or queen e2. Maybe knight h4. Knight h4 could be maybe knight d2. Knight d2 to prepare e4, but that would be so bizarre. You can check on a database. Yeah, I guess chess.com has also opening 3, right? No, database. What is the difference between opening 3 and database? Okay, database is just the database, so it's just games with this position, and opening 3 will give me the moves. Okay, yeah. So g3 is the main move, knight h4, queen b3, logical, h3, d5, bishop e5, e3, knight g5, bishop f4. Knight d2 has been tried too. Chess24 is more lucky than chess.com. Yes, it is. Yes. So we have Lichess, of course. Then it's a tight fight between Contra Chess that we tried yesterday and chess.com. They're there. Hey Contra, by the way. and then we have Chess24. Chess24 is the one that Chess24, I think it loads too many things on the browser. And it goes so slow. What's up, Contra? How you doing? So let's see. Main move is g3, it seems. And what did Samu play? Knight h4. Okay. So Samu is saying, come on, I wanted to play e4. Allow me to play e4, please. And Enrique says, all right, bishop back to c8. Now, this is funny. You're right, Bobby. This is a funny line. Are they thinking already? So bishop f5 was played very fast. Knight h4 was a move played after 2 minutes of thought, and then black thought for 10 minutes to play bishop back to c8. So we can argue they're both out of theory already. But bishop f5 surprised white. White didn't play the main move, which according to the database is g3, and then black went into the think tank for 10 minutes to go back to c8. Playing bishop f5 but not knowing knight h4, which is the main move. Is it? Yeah, okay, second main move according to the database, but it's also like the critical, right? I don't know, it can be the main move or not, but it's like the critical, like, okay, what does bishop f5 allow, or how does white fight to play e4? Yeah, so knight h4 had to be considered, and yes, it turns out that black didn't know knight h4, or no. I mean, spent 10 minutes. Weird to play that line and not knowing. Yeah, it's weird. But sometimes you know and still... Well, this is not the case. This is not the case because white spent 2 minutes. Now, what I was going to say is it happened to me this year in an over-the-board game that I played one line, my opponent played it too, and we were both playing fast. Like, okay, we know this line, we know this line, we know this line. And then we got to a point where I knew the main move was taking a, let's call it a poisoned pawn. A pawn that can be taken, but of course white gets a lot of initiative. And I knew that was the main move. in my knowledge, it was the only move. And still, I spent 10 minutes in that moment, or maybe between 5 and 10, and didn't play it because of strategical reasons. I knew that line, but it's a risky line. I mean, it's a line where you have to be careful because you took a pawn, but your opponent has a lot of initiative, and I didn't feel like playing that against this guy who is very good at tactics and especially clearly had prepared that line against me because he's playing fast. So yeah, sometimes you see a player spending 10 minutes in the opening and you say, oh, he didn't know that, come on, why do you play this if you don't know that? But sometimes it's just that you get to that point and you say, okay, I don't want to play the main line because I don't want to play this against this guy right now. Let's find something else. And then you have to spend time to find something else, of course. Hey John, what is up? How are you? Sometimes you want to avoid the opponent prep, but it wasn't the case here. Yeah, it seems it wasn't the case. Especially because, I mean, two minutes. Some will spend 2 minutes, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was prep, maybe not. But yeah, I would bet it's not. I am good, and you? I mean, bishop c8 seems like a terrible move to do. But still, if you want to avoid... I don't know what the main move would be after knight h4, to be honest. Let me guess. d5 would be funny. e5, c5, bishop g7. Nah. I mean, allowing that takes f5. Bishop e4 would be funny. You would have played bishop c8 also. I mean, bishop c8 is like the solid approach. And what I did in the game I was referring to was the solid approach too, but it was terrible because I got too passive. But still better than entering the complications against a prepared opponent. So the main move is, sorry, not after bishop c8, but after... You're good, John? Good to know. Main move is bishop d7, which makes more sense than bishop c8. Yeah, and bishop c8 is next. Yeah, bishop d7, sometimes you go with the bishop out and then you go back but one square left, less. So you can argue, okay, at least I developed the bishop and now the knight is on h4. The problem is you probably wanted this square for the knight, and I guess that's what he thought. Okay, also b7. I mean defending. So e4. So now after bishop g7, knight bd7. I was going to say after bishop g7, white can play knight f3. That would be funny. No, knight bd7. But okay, this is a King's Indian defense. The knight is going to be on h4 for a while. It doesn't have to go back yet. And e5. And now knight back to f3. So now it makes sense to play bishop g7, and we would, yeah, and we're back in normal stuff, right? So bishop e3. So white is not interested for some reason in playing d5. So yeah, not sure what to call this opening. Let's just move on. So castles, and queen e7. That makes sense. It's a very typical move also in the King's Indian when d5 is not played. I've seen some games of Aronian, I think, doing, even of Carlsen too, going e5 and queen e7. Rook e1, c6, and now d5. Now that c6 has been played. So now the d6 pawn is going to be weak for the rest of the game. That's what white wants. The problem is if c5 is played, the pawn is going to be weak, but it's going to be hard to attack it, although b4 is a break. Not sure what would I do with black here. In this type of position, I tend to keep it like that. But yeah, the lack of space is a problem. 98 f5 is a normal idea. Maybe I could take on d5. Let's see what did Enrique do. c5 blocking. That's really risky. I think whenever I do this, although I do this with the white side usually when I play the king c9 attack, but the same idea. Whenever they play d4, in this case d5, and I block this way, I know the engine never likes it, and I do it all the time. But the engine never likes this kind of move. I don't really understand fully why. But yeah, okay, white in this case has a space, we know that. And white will have this break, we know that too. But it's not the end of the world, is it? Okay, rook b1. Knight h5, another way to prepare f5. Knight h5 has to be calculated because there are some tricks against the knight on h5, wall tricks. If knight d2, for example, the knight probably has to go back, I don't know. Queen d2. Okay, queen d2 is usually preparing the bishop h6 move. Knight d4, knight f4 is an idea. Knight d2, knight f4. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true, Bobby. Yeah, that's why I think knight h5 is many times answered with g3, but I guess queen d2 is probably better because it prevents knight f4. Well, prevents. We would win a pawn, but the bishop on g7 would be unleashed. It seems to prevent knight f4. And at some point it might prepare bishop h6, although to be honest that bishop on g7 is so bad that I wouldn't be in a rush to play bishop h6, right? Actually, in this chess league this year I also played against a FIDE master, and I had a position not so close as this one, the center, but very similar. And I didn't want to go bishop h6, but suddenly it was, I didn't find anything better, and it was a draw like 5 moves later. Okay, knight d6. Unleashing the other bishop. Knight b6 definitely not preparing the break b5. There might be the idea to keep c4 under pressure, so after bishop g4, whenever we take on f3, white has to take with the pawn. That's just a random idea, I see. And mostly I think it's preparing f5 because the bishop now is supporting that break. It's not even you playing, Pepe. This is terrible. Hey, Strider! Thanks for the raid. Welcome, people. Welcome. I was just gonna grab more coffee, so okay, let's finish watching this game and then I'll grab more coffee. So, welcome, Strider and company. We're having a look at the games of the Galician Championship, round 7, which has been played today. Tomorrow is the final round. And we're watching now board number 2, which is another draw, and b4. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm I think I'm talking too much. Okay, b4 makes a lot of sense, especially after knight b6. Knight b6 is a bit clumsy, isn't it? So now white is breaking the queen side. Black is pretty much forced to take. I mean, the alternative is to go knight back to d7 maybe, and even that is probably not good. Doesn't feel good. I mean, at least here, white probably doesn't want to get rid of this bishop. This is a very good bishop, but at least white could consider this and have a passed pawn forever. And yeah, I don't think it's a good move, but also the rook would be opened. d6, you would play d6 then? Maybe. Oh, you got back from a walk with kids. Nice. What did you miss? You missed some people in the chat because what I'm talking is not very interesting, I think. I mean, in board number 2 right now. Yeah, that's true, Bobby. That's true. 95 is going to be very juicy. Yeah, so at least white has that. So if 97 is not possible, then black had to take on b4. But then why did we play knight b6 in the first place? Yeah. So take. It's a pity that the pawn attacks the knight. Otherwise, we could immediately go c5, right? It's asking for it. Okay, takes knight f4 now. Good point by black to generate some counterplay on the other side, and maybe try to get rid of one of white's bishops. White says no problem, take the e2 bishop if you want, is my bad bishop. Knight b5. Knight b5 might be preparing or threatening knight takes d6, and after queen takes, pawn c5, and then if queen e7, pawn d6, and we regain the piece. So knight a7 maybe too. Yeah, knight a7 too. So two sacrifices threatened here. This is really annoying. Black needs to do something. And black took on e2, which is a decision I'm not sure if I like, unless f5 next works. Okay, queen took on e2. And a5. That definitely prevents knight takes a7. So yeah, a5 is a nice move because, and that's the reason why the queen had to take on e2 to defend c4. Okay. So knight takes e2 was forcing queen takes e2. Now the rook has to go back, and the knight is hanging on b6, but now there's time to move it to a4. Interesting move. Bishop takes b6 too much? Okay, let's have a look at that. Bishop takes b6, pawn takes rook, and bishop c7. Yeah, it seems very, very interesting, very appealing. Maybe black has to give the exchange back with rook d8. Yeah, and then b4 is weak. So for example, we take the exchange maybe, or can we? No, that's too much, right? I'm okay if you give the exchange back. Yeah. Just giving the exchange back, but then b4 is weak, or maybe not so weak. No, d6 is hanging. What am I doing? Yeah, well, it can be an annoying idea for black, but yeah, we need to defend a2 probably to be able to take on b4. The bishop can go to f8 to defend d6. Yeah, these positions are really difficult because we seem to have achieved something as white, and then suddenly we're playing with two knights versus two bishops, and after f5 things are not going to be clear. But yeah, definitely an idea to explore. I don't know whether they explored it in the game. Let's have a look at the times. Rook bb1 was played in 2 minutes. After a5 was played in 4 minutes. Probably they don't. And knight a4 was played immediately. Knight a4. Queen b2 maybe not best. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, but let's not go there again. Knight a4, okay. There was not exactly a fork threat on c3 because the knight is defended, but at some point it will be like after bishop d7 or something. So queen c3, I mean queen d2, touching a5, just in case, and maybe renewing the ideas of bishop h6, which I'm not a fan of. So bishop g4, because now the knight has no knight d2, and oh, this is a tough position. Sorry, not a tough position, but a tough decision for white, what to do with that knight. Black is sort of threatening to take on f3 and ruin white's structure, which I'm not sure if that's going to be the end of the world, but then f5 is going to happen and a rook can maybe attack, or f4 will happen, I don't know. And the knight has no squares right now. This knight has no squares, so the only ways to defend it are by pinning the queen. To avoid this, I mean. Not sure bishop takes f3 is a big threat. Okay, he played queen d1. Let me see. I think it can be at some point. Maybe not now, but especially if we play h3, I think it's bad news for us. With the pawn h3 is even worse. But the problem is, like if black plays, I don't know what we play with white. Yeah, it's hard to do a stupid move, but let's do this move. Yeah, not h3, but my point is, if black keeps going, the only way to punish is with h3, then he takes on f3, so we cannot do that. He's gonna start building an attack, and I don't know. Yeah, rook fc1 is probably a stupid move. But it gives the knight a square. He went queen d1 though. So I guess he says, okay, I'm gonna ping myself, but next move is gonna be h3, so you're gonna have to get out. So the ping is not a problem. Also, we're hitting the knight on a4. So the knight moves to c5. And I would really take the knight instead of h3. It's attacking e4, not sure if that's important, but yeah, okay, he took. I think I like white now, after h3. Hey, just bra in the house. Hello. Hola. Hola la. Hello, man. d6. Wow, and this game was a draw. I probably have played h3 first, maybe. Okay, d6. Who else likes white now? How are you doing? Staying busy? Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks. And how are you doing? I'm I'm kind of busy. I've been very busy lately, but yeah, but this week I'm on holidays, so I'm doing more streams and so. And yeah, yeah, life is great. Um, yeah, I do like white a lot. I mean, the pass pawn is defended uh, like 3 moves ago. I was concerned about this being. Now I'm not. Like queen b3, queen d3, rook e3. Any move could unping us. h3 also. Although I would probably play h3 first before d6, because after h3 now there's bishop e6, but that's not a problem either. Yeah, the bishop on g7 is terrible. It will go to h6 at some point, I guess. What is black going to play now? Like queen d7, and after h3, queen bishop e6, and then move rook and bishop f8. This is an ugly position to play. But the game ended up in a draw. Well, there's a bunch of moves still. So queen d7, yes. That's how you play chess. You block passed pawns with your queen. h3, bishop e6 then. Queen d3. Nope, I'm not angry. Yes. I was lucky. I'm usually angry according to Nightbot. Queen d3. Queen d3, defending all the pawns. Nice. Rook fd8. True story. But Nightbot is always wrong, so. Okay, I just said I'm angry now. Okay, never mind. Rook fd8. You want to study the language, Bobby? Not the defense? Don't do that. Don't do that. What is black going to do? It's not Fisibot. I think Fisibot should be around. Is he not here? Maybe I need to do a ping. You're French, I know, Bobby. You're French and you still want to learn French? How's that? Okay, Joanna. The bot is definitely not here. Give me a second. You know, the problem is I'm using a free hosting over there, so it sleeps. At some point it sleeps with inactivity. So I just have to do, I prepared a script, so I go to my Fisibot folder and I do ping the bot, and the pawn will come alive in a second and be back here. I should do a script to do this automatically, but hey, it's here. Okay, cool. So what was I talking? What was I saying? I love white here. Yeah, rook fd8. What is black doing? Because I mean, I thought f5, but was there a problem doing f5 with the rook on f8? Position is ugly for black. No, he wants to play bishop f8. Okay. He's moving that rook probably to go bishop f8 and then rook a6 maybe. And he's also preventing knight c7. Knight c7, queen takes c7. So okay, rook fd8 has some points. Now knight c7, queen takes knight, and bishop f8 is preparing. Okay, makes sense. And f5 is also possible. We don't need the rook to go f5 and then take with the bishop. So rook fd8 makes sense. Rook e1 defending the queen, so now renewing probably the threat of knight c7. Rook a6 anyway. By anyway I mean it allows knight c7, but I guess now black wants to take on d6 and allow the knight to take the bishop on e6. And that is what happened. Knight c7. Why is knight c7 a threat? Well, I mean, you remove a bishop. I mean, the good bishop. You remove the good bishop. It's a positional threat. I mean, maybe there's something better for white. Maybe white could still improve the position a bit before going knight c7. For example, rook to a3. I don't know. Because if b6 is played, then the pawn is totally safe on d6. What else could we try? Yeah, by tickling those a5 and c5 pawns, maybe we can force b6. I don't know. That could be a plan. He gives d6 for free. Yeah, he went knight c7, so he went for the trades, and I guess the idea is to take the what he probably thought was black's best bishop. I mean, I agree it's black's best bishop, but yeah, this is the kind of position where you are totally in control and you can do small improvements to the position, right? There was no need to rush knight c7 unless I'm missing a threat. I don't think f5 is... I mean, I think f5 is probably the strongest reaction I can see from black. But yeah, maybe it was the moment... I mean, the knight is defending this. He might be scared of bishop f8, but the e5 pawn would be hanging, so bishop f8 has to be prepared with an ugly move like f6. Yeah, I don't know, but white went for knight c7. So rook takes, trade, and I'm expecting rook takes b7. Knight takes e6 first, yeah. And f takes e, committal decision there, and rook takes b7. So white's idea was to remove that bishop. That's the only thing I see there. Now, I mean, committal. I would probably have taken with the pawn too, but it's not an easy decision to, when you ruin your structure like that and you refuse. No, you why not taking with the rook? Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, let's try to understand. You no longer will have the f5 break, that's what I meant, if you take with pawn. So the pawn structure is terrible, but we need to spend this tempo to go rook d6, and then we have maybe this problem. Maybe it's a problem, maybe not. So here I guess rook check and rook c1. It's not easy. It's not easy to assess this position because e4 is hanging. So rook b5 is better. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. You're right. Rook b5 is better. Yeah, I thought I wanted to win the pawn. Yeah, rook d6. Yeah, I wanted to win the pawn and be sure I won the pawn, but yeah, to be honest, rook a6 would be terrible here to defend. So yeah, rook b5 is better. Because yeah, now if the counterplay happens, we have rook takes c5. So he might be scared of this and he took with the pawn. I mean, I usually do this when I'm playing endgames. I try to play as fast as possible. So the advantages of f takes e is one tempo up in our rook counterplay, and also one tempo up in a way, maybe not sure, in the king going to the center, because we have the f7 square. Although then we don't have the e6 square, so that might be wrong. Rook takes e6, you just lose a pawn. Because here we're losing a pawn too, yeah. But to be honest, f takes e6, I mean, these pawns are going to be weak any either way. So in the game, after f takes, I mean, maybe you don't lose a pawn, but the main point is you get the counterplay fast. Wow, bishop h6, I didn't expect that. I expected some fast counterplay like rook d1, rook c1. Funny smile. I think that command was added by Tijan. I think, I'm not sure. So bishop h6, that's interesting. I think bishop h6 might be playing for tricks. And the trick is if we're sort of hanging this pawn, but we're not. Because if knight takes e5 happens, which could happen now, rook check and bishop f4 check. So I see that. But I don't see what other ideas does the bishop have. Maybe defending these pawns over here, but yeah, bishop d2 is never something we want to do, I guess. I don't know. Let's see how this... Okay, g3 preventing that. So threatening to take on e5. Why Maconda? Why? Yeah, Bobby, for the weather command you need to put the location like this. Ha. 11. Let me see what's the weather here. It should be raining. Partly cloudy with a temperature of... Okay, no, okay. It's the same, right, Egan? It's the same, Egan. You didn't see mine. Okay. Cool. Okay, so g3, check, king there, now going for the a pawn. No, yeah, going for the a pawn. Rook b2 defending passively, but what else? I'm mostly listening while I work. Okay. Yeah. You're working, right? You're totally not writing in the chat and reading and... Yeah, rook b2 is very sad to play. Totally. Okay, cool, cool. Some of the two has to be working. Someone has to do the working. You mean whistling while you work? Okay, yeah, rook takes a2 is an annoying threat, because if then we try to play for some counterplay, the a5 pawn is gonna create some, definitely some counterplay, and then all these pawns are weak. Yeah, both sides have many weak pawns. So rook b2 and a4, because again, if rook c1, rook b5 might happen, right? Takes. So a4 takes there with a nice trick. Now bishop g7, there's rook b8 check, and then bishop has to go to f8. So there's no threat. Bishop g7 is not a threat. a3, cool. Rook keeps in the line. Bishop g7. And they agreed to a draw here. Which I'm confused about. Because I would take black here. What am I missing? 93? 93, rook d1, knight takes c5. So knight d3, bishop d4 first. I don't know, I like black here. That pawn on a3. If we ever get bishop b2, it's gonna be crashing. Knight d3, bishop b2. Knight takes b2, rook takes a2. But then rook e3, right? Rook e3 maybe. Who is the best Spanish player ever? Our Spanish #1, Paco Vallejo. Yeah, let's put that line on the board. Bishop b2 takes, and the knight is pinned, but rook e3. And now if rook takes, then rook takes a3. And if pawn takes, we have rook b3, which, yeah, maybe it's tough to assess. My plan as white is to go here, here, and take the pawn. And if black ever wants to have an active rook, yeah, nah, this might be very dangerous for white though. Rook a4, yeah. King f3, rook a3, that's right. That's right. Not so easy. We need to play rook b5 first and then go for that. But yeah, this is, yeah, bishop b2 is definitely the idea I wanted to do. I thought knight d3 prevented it, but if not, we have to play f4. But if we have to play f4, I still like black because rook b1, rook b2. Although, truth is, after rook b1, rook b2, black is threatening nothing. So, for example, takes, yeah, but again, rook c1, rook e3, rook c2 check, rook takes a2. Why did they agree to a draw? I mean, I like black in every line. Yeah, what I meant is this is not a threat because if rook b2, white doesn't take and nothing happens. But rook c1. Did you watch game Kramnik Vallejo in La Bourdonnais? Sicilian blindfold game. No one destroyed Kramnik like Vallejo in that game. I might have watched it. I just don't recall it now. So maybe I didn't. Rook c1, rook e3, rook check. This is not so clear. Why did they agree to a draw here? This is confusing. So the final position is bishop g7. And just for a second, I'm going to see what the engine says about this position. Ask why he agreed to a draw. According to the engine, this is equal, slightly good for white. Maybe knight takes c5 after bishop b2. Yeah, knight takes c5. Okay, knight takes c5. White is winning. Let's turn the computer analysis off. I finally saw the move before the engine says, yeah, knight takes c5 and knight b3. And now, who's pinned and tied is black, which is amazing. That's funny. Okay guys, I'm gonna grab another coffee. I don't know how much more am I gonna be here, but so for the moment I'm gonna keep going. Oh, thanks for the game, Fonsa. Thank you. Let me copy the link. Tactics. Now I'm gonna keep watching games. This was game number 2. There are 8 games. We have 8 games, and I really want to get to game number 6. I might start with that one, because then we have another draw in board number 3. Then we have this wing. Okay, I know these 2 players, so this wing could be interesting. And game number 6, I'm really interested in watching, so I'm gonna start with that one. Why not? Why not? 24-hour stream, no. Now I'm actually waiting until someone calls me to watch something, and then I'll stop streaming. But for the moment, I'm gonna watch games, just watch games. Why are you interested in game 6? Because first of all, it's a decisive result. Decisive result. So I would only be, I mean, it's funnier when one side is winning and so. But secondly, because of the players. I really like Pablo Tubio. We played him in this league. So Pablo Tubio is teammates with Diego Espinheira. So the round I played against international master Diego Espinheira, my third board played against Pablo Tubio. Hey Candela! Finally we have a Galician viewer here. Nice. Who is he waiting for? So let me grab a coffee and then we're gonna see this game. Probably the more interesting game of the round. Burning Brotha. So, yeah, first of all, I like Pablo. Pablo Tubio is a young player. I don't know, maybe he's 20-something. Cannot tell. I played him a lot of times, and he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And for the last years, I didn't play him, so I have a good score against him. But yeah, it's not gonna be like that. And yeah, he's very kind, and yeah, just like him. And he's facing Ines, who's the favorite here in this game, and she also won. Ines Prado is the Galician champion. It's definitely one of the favorites, not from a rating point of view, but because last year she won the tournament. And yeah, she plays really strong, especially against the strong people. I like a lot her repertoire, her opening repertoire, and her style of play. She's going always for complex positions. So let's see what happened in this game. E4, and she's younger than Pablo. She's very young. She might be 19 years old or something like that, or 20 maybe. All right, E4 as usual. I mean, as usual, Pablo always plays E4 as me. She's 21. Oh, okay. Thank you, Bobby. So she's already 21. So, and how old is Pablo? I mean, you're helping there. So we have a Sicilian. That's cool. Is a chess miniature just a game that ends in checkmate like game 6? I am a little new to chess terminology. No, like this game finishes in checkmate, but in 58 moves. A miniature is called a very short game, usually 20 moves or less. So yeah, miniature refers to the number of moves, and they usually finish in checkmate because that's how miniatures go. Although I have some miniatures that didn't end in checkmate but resignation. All girls play Sicilian. Well, to be honest, it's the first time I see Ines playing the Sicilian. I'm not saying it doesn't suit her style. It does really, because she goes for complexity, but she's being always known to be a French defense player, and I've seen her playing French all the time. ¿Cuándo un programa de xadrez na TVG? I don't know, Candela. We need to pull some threads. No, how do you say that? They all have the same style, playing attacking style. Con Super Piñeiro. Oh, Super Piñeiro was teammate of my father back in high school, when Super Piñeiro was a teacher. Okay, so let's see. Knight f3. They will go for the open Sicilian, and maybe the knight even. Takes an a6. Yes, we have an knight. So this is going to be a fun game, isn't it? g3. Okay. I think I've seen g3, but because I'm not a... Doesn't look like a knight. Knight is with d6. Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Bobby. You're totally right. Yeah. Yeah, there's no bishop g4, of course, now. No, so how is this one called? Is this a Taimanov after queen c7? Yeah, this is my problem. I never played the open Sicilian. And by never, I mean I've played it sometimes, but I always escape it. Kang, Taimanov, or Paulsen? I never know. I never know either. It might be the Kang. Yeah, I think it's the Kang. Like when you play then bishop c5, bishop a7, and b5, stuff like that, maybe? I don't know. I never know. So queen c7, bishop g2, and okay, what am I expecting from each side? Well, because of the fianchetto, I don't know anything about the Sicilian, but okay, because of this fianchetto, I guess black is trying to fight, white is trying to fight against the typical d5 idea. White will castle short, black will castle short. White is delaying knight c3. In some positions you like to play c4 first and then knight c3, play for the Maroczy bind, but I'm not sure. Well, first of all, after queen c7 it's going to be hard to achieve, and maybe you need queen e2 first or something, or b3. But also I'm not sure how does that work with the bishop on g2. Maybe it works better than with the bishop on e2 actually. So yeah, because this knight is still not committed, we don't know whether white will play c4 or not. But also c4 having black played a6, so prepare to play the break b5. I don't know. g3, bishop g2 is the line I play against that. Oh, so you know this. You know this, Bobby. Maybe you can help us pointing out some ideas that I for sure will not see. Maroczy with bishop g2 is very weird. Yeah, I've never seen it with bishop g2, but because I'm not a Maroczy player, because, well, I don't play open Sicilian anyway, I would probably play it with bishop g2 better than with bishop e2, because I feel the bishop on e2 is so terrible. Usually you play just on the king side, f4, etc. Yeah, so... and you castle short, yeah. So what we don't know yet is whether white will play. Maybe c4 is not the question. Maybe c4 is just a stupid idea that I just mentioned. But the knight is not committed. So there are options opened. Like, for example, c3 could be an option, and then I would go to d2. Knight c3 is a natural move also, but then c2 will be weak in the future. We'll see. We'll see. I'm talking too much. Maybe we should just see the game. Knight c6, castle. This is normal. Knight f6 might be ready to play d5 or not. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Rook e1. And now this, well, rook e1 is definitely, if there was any doubt whether d5 was possible or not, now it's definitely not. But yeah, what I don't like about these positions as black is, I mean, I had a lot of teammates that played these kind of Sicilians, and they know what to do. But every time I take a position like this with black, I'm lost like in 3 moves, because I don't know what to do with this bishop here. I don't know what to do with this bishop here, because I don't want to trade it, because, you know, all the dark squares. And I don't know what to do with this back pawn. I usually play something like d6 and bishop e7 and play slow, but yeah, I don't understand these positions. I should study them. So what did Ines play? e5. Bishop e7, d6 is the most classic. Yeah, but I mean, if I have to play this position, I would play that, but because it's like the solid approach, like, okay, I don't have a space, I'm gonna keep my pieces here, I'm gonna wait until something happens, and I will react to what happens. But it's not a comfortable position to be in. Now Ines goes e5. That's a different story. I guess she might be worried about e5 by white at some point. No, I don't think so. It wasn't a threat. Okay, e5, asking a question to the knight on d4, so the knight will go somewhere, goes to f5, and it will go to e3 at some point, because e5 is weird to you, okay. But there's this, I don't know the names, is it the Pelican? There are several, at least 2, I think, Sicilians where you play e5. I actually have played them. I had a teammate that played that, so I played them with white many times. This line where they play e5, you go knight b5, a6, knight a3, b5, then you go knight d5. It's a different line, it's not this one. And sometimes I tried, instead of knight b5, knight f5, actually, like this. Kalashnikov, aha, or Sveshnikov, like Carlsen. Yeah, so e5 is a move, of course, but if I play with black and I play something like e5, because I wouldn't know how to continue, I would lose like in very few moves. Okay, it seems the broadcast is either broken or stopped. Oh, I'm replaying it. The broadcast is finished. Okay, no worries. we can keep watching that. Yeah, so now I would play g6 probably. e6 and then e5 is weird. Oh yeah, definitely. But on the other hand, look at these pieces over here. White is this kind of position where white is not committing. So white is not committing, and it's like playing cat and mouse, like, okay, you're not committing, I'm gonna try to force something to happen, because now after e5, knight f5, the knight had to move for the 3rd time. She wants to play against the bishop on g2. Yeah, that's true also. The pawn stack at e4 will make this bishop bad. But on the other hand, now d5 is going to be hard or impossible to do. But yeah, I remember in the Scandinavian with something like this happens with the pawn on e7 sometimes, that you keep it there defended with the bishop, and it's actually safer, much safer than being on d6. So you never know. You can play d5 now maybe. Yeah, at some point, but I would be scared to do it before castling. And she plays d6, of course, just throwing away what I just said. Knight d6. I mean, pawn d6. Interesting. I guess there's a positional threat to take on f5 and have a strong center. Although how to assess positional threats has always been a tough task for me. But yeah, Pablo thought the same and moved the knight for the 4th time. So after bishop e7, which would be natural now, yeah, bishop e7, we could argue that black, despite playing e6, e5, somehow has good development now. The knights are in best squares, the bishops are ready, and she's gonna castle next move. I like black's position, given that it is this kind of Sicilian position that I don't understand. Bishop g5 instead of 93. I think I remember, looks very good for white. I think I remember some line like this from my teammates in my previous team, and there was a lot of theory in these lines. Let me see if I remember some of the ideas. You say bishop g5, bishop takes f6, and the knight will stay on d5 forever. Instead of knight d5, not knight e3. Here bishop takes f5 is okay for black. Yeah, I thought that. So you say instead of I'm not following you, I think. Instead of knight d5, but knight d5 wasn't played. A move after. But a move after is knight e3, so there's no bishop g5 anymore. So the game was d6, threatening to take on f5, and the game continued with knight e3. Knight e3. And we were here. Yeah, and there's no bishop g5 now. Yeah. No, but to be honest, I remember some lines where, I think it's with knight f5, when you play bishop g5 first, and there's some crazy lines where one side sacrifices a piece. I just can't remember. I remember being playing during past chess leagues and watching my teammate board with a position like this, and I was like, wow. And he ended up playing f5. This is on the carries. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm trying to recall something that happened in a board that wasn't mine. Carries attack on the Scheveningen. Probably. One day I should study this stuff. Okay, so d6 with the threat of bishop takes f5, so knight e3, so there's no bishop g5 yet. But white has probably the plan to go knight c3 and put a knight on d5, right? Now that e5 happened and black committed to that, white might decide to finally use the knight via c3 to conquer the d5 square. Let's see how this happened. Bishop e7, not caring about that idea because, to be honest, I don't think there was any way to prevent it. Knight d5 immediately, not knight c3. Okay, interesting. There's one thing I don't like about this move. There's one thing I really don't like about this move. Well, it attacks the queen, so it has a threat. Black, it's a strong move in that way. Black doesn't have a lot of options, but something I teach to my students, and many times I'm wrong, especially in games of people that play stronger than me, like this one. But if you move a piece 5 times, and this is the 5th time this knight moves, if you move a piece 5 times in the opening to trade it, that's usually not good. I might be wrong, and white might be happy with putting a pawn on d5, defended by the bishop on g2, having more scope for the bishop maybe. White might be happy, but in general, I didn't like what happened in the last few moves with this knight. Why not knight c3 first? Yeah, that's what I would do. Knight c3 first, I think, would ensure having a knight always on d5. I guess the only way to prevent that could be to play bishop e6 and then maybe trade. The problem is you cannot trade first with knight because of pawn takes. So in this case you have to go this, and then if knight takes, you take. And it's similar to what probably happened in the game, but with the bishop on c8 traded for a knight. I don't know how to assess this, whether this is better or not at the game, but yeah, it seemed more natural to go knight c3 first to me. And you can always decide when to jump there also after, for example, bishop e6. Bishop e6 maybe, would it be threatening d5? If we don't jump into d5 now? I don't know, I have the feeling that we can wait and decide when to jump there. So yeah, knight c3 felt more natural to me. Also developing, I mean, moving the piece for the 5th time to trade it, that's asking for trouble in general. Maybe there's a tactical justification, but okay, it takes d5 and knight there. Now definitely black has more development, right? Black has no problems to castle. She's gonna cancel anytime. And yeah, better center, I would say. And this is an active piece, attacking c2, so probably c3 is going to be played, but in general, development is something that happens with the pieces, not with the pawns. So knight jumps, okay. And the knight has always an escape. Queen d3, okay. Queen d3, and I take the idea is to play bishop e4 at some point, maybe, especially if now black castles, for example. But of course black doesn't have to castle. Black might try to develop this bishop over here, although... Okay, it's an interesting position. I mean, white took a decision, knight d5, that we might not like, but white has something in return. What white has is this knight being iffy. This knight has no squares right now. It's not easy to attack it, like g4 doesn't work. But it has no squares, no interesting squares now. Maybe it ends up going to h6, allowing bishop takes h6, and that might be the reason why black is not castling yet. But yeah, that's the only thing I see good for white. Maybe if I was black, I would consider a move like bishop f6 to give the knight a square, but that feels so slow. So if there's no problem, if there's really no problem with bishop e4 and we can play g6 or queen d7, then I would go for a developing move like b5 to play bishop b7 at some point after fixing this problem with maybe g6. So b5, and then if required g6, bishop b7, something like that could be an idea. Controlling also the c4 square. There's something to be said about these pieces over here. How are they going to be developed? Importantly, this bishop doesn't have good squares either. Bishop d2 blocks the knight. Knight d2 blocks the bishop. Knight a3, if we play b5 now, for example, knight a3 would be probably not very useful. So yeah, white still has problems developing this. So if black keeps this guy here, and it seems it's going to be there for a couple of moves, then white has to find a creative way to develop these pieces. Okay, maybe white can just spend more tempi to bring the knight out to a good square, and then eventually the bishop will go somewhere. Okay, let's see how this developed. Wow, black castled against... Clearly you don't like knight d5. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay, black castled here, which is interesting because bishop e4 seemed like the idea here, but of course black should have foresee that, and I guess bishop e4 wasn't played. Let me see. No, a4 was played. I guess the idea against bishop e4 was to just, I mean, not knight h6. I hope not knight h6, but g6. Yeah. Yeah, now there's no problems. And then I will, if necessary, go here, or after bishop can reroute maybe, then I has e7. And yeah, black has, I think black has a better position. Black has a better center and no problems whatsoever. And white has problems. Is that kind of position where black doesn't have like a clear advantage? Well, maybe the center is clear, but not a clear advantage like, okay, I'm a pawn, or I have a strong attack, or I have control over the open file. But simply put, black has no problems and white has problems. I think that's how I would assess it. But it's hard not to be biased from knowing who's playing and what the result of the game was. So I'm trying to be objective about the position. I think I really like it for black, despite being not my favorite opening. Okay, so a4 was played. A4, that's, I assume this is preparing the development of the knight via a3, because it prevents, sort of prevents, it fights against b5. So b6. b6 is a classy move. I mean, black will never go bishop b7 without first addressing this knight hanging on f5. But this move prepares that for the future. And also, it prevents a5, which I think would be annoying in a way. So now after b6, if a5 happens, we can answer with b5. And nothing's a problem. Or even takes on a5. Okay, knight a3 was played. And this knight is annoying on f5, because we would love to play knight c4, bishop e3, stuff like that, but bishop e3, the knight will take, I think. Bishop d7 attacking the pawn. He saw. So knight c2. The knight might be going to e3 for the trade, but again, black has ways to address that. Black can take, or probably better, play g6. Let's see what happened. Oh, g6 first. Okay, so now 93 wouldn't even have a threat. So black would be flexible to do whatever. And knight b4. Okay, white is trying to maximize what he has. He has a bishop defending this pawn that is blocking the bishop, and the situation previously was this. Now the pawn got here, and white might be dreaming of having this, right? White is dreaming of putting something there and that black takes it. Maybe not, because then black will have a strong center and the pawn can be eventually weak on c6. But okay, knight b4 seems to be playing against that, because it's tickling this pawn, and if the pawn pushes, which is the natural move, I think he wants to go there. But then I'm not sure, after bishop takes d5, how is he gonna keep the pawn on c6? Yeah, maybe a better move. No, there's no better move. I mean, I thought stupid things with this bishop, but yeah, this bishop is terrible. So yeah, here's the thing, when it's so easy to criticize when you're not playing, I commit the same mistakes over and over again, but yeah, I learned, although I don't always use it, but I learned that when you have a problem, and I think we have a problem with this bishop, it's much better to address it than doing stuff, committal stuff, that lead to something tactical or whatever, because then you have the problem. And in this position, better even 3 moves ago, but okay, in this position we still have some time for some slow maneuvers, but if we start taking some actions, then we might end up in a position where we don't have time to do something slow and we still have problems, and that's not a good position to be in. So let's see what happened. a5, of course, and knight c6 I'm expecting, yeah, because if you go there is to do that. Okay, did she take? No. She stepped out from the problem. I don't know what was wrong with taking, to be honest. Take, and d5? What is this? If d5 is hanging, what? for some reason I'm thinking that knight is in the natural square. I'm so stupid. Okay, not d5, not d5. Definitely not d5. Yeah, maybe then it's not so clear. Maybe then it's not so clear. Okay. So just keep the bishops. Bishops f6. But now I'm thinking b4 is possible. Maybe. Now that the knight is here. I don't know. And white played f4. Rawr. f4. Definitely. Okay. No signs from Lee. Okay. f4. What is f4 about? Yeah, white is taking actions. And white's point is, okay, I'm creating tactical possibilities on the board, but those tactical possibilities are going to solve my problem of the bishop. Okay, makes sense. It makes sense. Hey, Whiskey. Hello. How are you? How are you, man? Are you home already? Wow, so now she takes after f4. Anyone you know playing in this tourney? Yeah, everyone, Salty. I know every player in this tournament. You're home? Okay, nice. Okay, Joey and Whiskey, let me know when you want to watch something. I just finished stream. Covering for fun. Yeah, covering for fun too, but yeah, I know. I've played this tournament in the past, just not this year. Um, yeah, it's the best players in Galicia, and okay, maybe I don't know everyone, but I know the top 50 maybe. But yeah, of course, new players and beginners, I don't know them. So this was nice. We don't take here because then the pawn is there, not so clear how to progress. But now that white blows the position, now she takes because great board layout. Not really. I don't know. This is chess.com. It's just the website, and it's a browser. I'm showing the browser, nothing special. I just made the website bigger to show the board. I really like chess24, the look and feel, but it's laggy and it goes slow, so I don't usually stream on it games. But to look at games, yeah, no worries, no problems. So you know, in boxing, when you're waiting for your opponent to do something and then your opponent throws the first punch, then you go. That's what happens here. So she didn't do anything until Pablo played f4, and now tactics happen, and after takes 97. Whoa, that's, I wouldn't have guessed that one. '97. Well, attacking c6, preparing d5. Maybe. You can't hold c6. Let's see. I don't know if queen b5 was the move. Let me see. Yeah, queen b5 was the move. Now some rook go to c8, I guess. Yeah. And you cannot hold it. And e5 is totally defended. It's totally defended. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah. That's right. She's just going to be a pawn up. And you would think, okay, but I mean, the pawns d6 and b6 are weak, but yeah, you should attack them, right? What about rook d1 here? Bishop h3 still. Bishop h3. Oh, bishop h3, yeah, hitting the rook. Ah, then that's maybe why he played queen b5. Queen b5, rook c8, bishop h3 was played, yeah. Yeah, rook d1, rook fd8, I was going to show that line, and then the other rook goes to c8. And I guess it would be similar to this, but maybe, yeah, very similar. Free watch stuff as long phone charging. Okay, you guys tell me when you want, and I'm free for you, Lee and Joey. Do you need to wait until the phone is charged? Okay, bishop h3, rook moves, and now maybe bishop d7. Yeah, bishop d7. So okay, interesting position. Material is still equal, and that pawn is there. Is there on c6. So position is not so clear, is it? So what is good and what is bad for each side? I think what is good for white is this pawn here. That's the best asset. What is bad for white is this exposed king and these undeveloped pieces over here. Not the bishop, especially because now the bishop is gonna finally do something. It is doing something, but this rook here is not participating. But I would worry more about the king safety, I think, after f4. What is good and bad for black? What is good is white skin safety. No, I don't know. Black skin safety is good. Central pawns. I was maybe wanted to play some more grimacing face. To play. You don't want to watch anything. Okay, the central pawns. I think the pawns in the center are good, although not so easy to advance right now. Another thing that's good, you do. Okay. You do what's answering to playing or to watching? How do I say no with that face? Oh, to watching. Okay, cool. There's time for everything. We can watch and then play. Okay, let's see how this game finished. King h8. Phone playing up, so needs to charge. How long does that take, Whiskey? Approx, no pressure, no pressure. King h8, look at that move. That would be your first candidate move. It wouldn't be in my list. Sophisticated overlay. You're so funny, people. Okay, king h8 and defending f7. Bishop e3 attacking the weak pawn, rook b8 I'm expecting. That's why she put the other rook first, because she wanted rook a b8 to be available, I guess, after queen b5. The pawn would be attacked. So maybe actually the other line wasn't stupid, now I'm realizing. Let me go back for a second. Here. So yeah, this line might not be stupid. Rook d1 here. But if you go here now, you still use this rook. The point being, whenever this pawn is attacked, you want to use the other rook. Okay, never mind, let's go back to the game. Now you like white? Yeah, I'm really liking I think white has the initiative now. Is it just UK with 4-day weekend? No, I think here in Spain too. Today and tomorrow are holidays, and I think on Monday too. I'm not sure. On Monday I'm gonna work, but yeah, I had all the week. And in school they have all the week. Okay, rook a b8 was played, and rook a d1. Yeah, white is definitely putting pressure. White is active. But bishop g7, rook e2. So rook e2 is going to be played. Now the knight is rerouting. The knight is not helping to take on c6, so the knight will find some other squares. 4-day weekend, aka 4 days of drinking. Not sure. Rook there, bishop f8. Can Can black be more passive? Yes, the knight is not passive yet. Oh, well, it is. Interesting, but black is holding. Black is holding, but how did black win? One thing that white has that I think I didn't mention is the bishop pair. So yeah, white wants the position open, but at the same time, white is playing against weaknesses. White is playing against b6 and d6, and that's the reason, I guess, why he's not trying to f takes e. Black is gonna strike back. Yeah, it seems so. It seems she's holding, and at some point, now he's taking. Okay. And queen d5, hitting f7. Is king g7 gonna be played here? Black looks dead. Yeah, it looks ugly. It looks ugly, but how do you win? What? This is an interesting exercise. I'm gonna turn the computer evaluation on. How would you assess this position? Advantage white? And how much? Plus 0.7, says Bobby. Something along those lines. Maybe a little more. I was thinking more. I was even gonna say more than one, but just 24 can't be trusted. Okay. No, I mean, I'm seeing black cannot move any of the heavy pieces, and that's, yeah, suddenly white has a lot of control in the way these pieces are very passive, and there's no easy way to untie them because b5 is not possible, e4 is not possible, and f7 is really weak. Even if we go king g7, some rook can go to the f file, and we might be forced to weaken our king more. That's why I was assessing that way, but maybe I'm missing tactical ideas hitting the queen, I don't know. Of course, I'm not calculating, I'm just trying to... Okay, plus 0.7 seems a fair guess, I think. Let's see what the computer thinks. Oh. This is how good we are at chess, guys. I mean, I could say 1.5, but I would never say 2 or more. I did not calculate. Yeah, maybe if I calculate. It might be Suxwan soon. Yeah, not just Suxwan. I think black is tied, but okay. I didn't really expect that. I didn't really expect this to be so good for white. That's interesting. I guess we can understand it, but yeah, we would need to think a bit more about this position. So white has the control of the light squares. All the light squares are for white. Like after f5 we will have queen e6 maybe. But bishop g5 ideas too. After f5, for example, queen e6, bishop g5, and yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, so this stuff over here, this pawn and bishop, keeps like these three pieces without moving, while the king is on the other side, defended only by, defended only by knight and bishop, but +4, almost +4. Okay, let's see what happened. King g7, bishop g5 immediately. I thought rook f2 first, but okay. Bishop g5 seems annoying enough. So f6, I expect. No, bishop c5 check that I have missed. And rook f8? No, f6. Ah. That bishop has no squares now. So bishop c5 check, protected e3. That was a good reaction. But still, after f takes g5, that king is going to be open. So b4 takes, and now this is a question for black. Should we take the pawn and be a pawn up, or f takes g5? F takes g5 seems so risky, so I guess she took the pawn. Yeah. Let's see, rook b2. Rook b2. Wasn't there anything better? Okay, whatever. Rook b2, bishop c5, and bishop d2. So maybe the engine will say +4 again, but I think this worked out well for black, and black is a pawn up, and it feels a bit safer, but I don't know. Knight e7 hitting the queen. No way it's +4 now. But still compensation for white. I mean, white is a pawn down and the king is exposed, blah blah blah. But is it still good for white? Aha, minus 0.35. So let's see with the engine what was wrong in all of this. Bishop h4, look at that. Bishop g5 sucks. Yeah, probably, I mean, that was my feeling, bishop g5. Bishop c5 check. Rook f2, look at that, rook f2. Bishop c5 check, good move. Bishop g5, terrible. And rook f2 is the second move. Rook f2 was like the natural for me. Queen c4 or g4. g4 is the first move. g4 is so hard to think, I think. g4 and h4, h5. Well, maybe not so tough. g4 and g5. Yeah, so bishop g5, mistake. But it was strange. g4 black and move, yeah. It was strange because what I thought was, oh, bishop g5 is going to be an idea, but it would be so nice after this pawn is here and our queen is on e6. Then bishop g5 is killing. Because if we do now, there's f6, there's even bishop e7, which is probably bad, but there's f6. So I thought, okay, let's first force that pawn to move, and if he goes to f5, then queen e6 and bishop g5 is going to be deadly. But yeah, g4 is even more interesting because we're fighting also against f5. That's cool. So bishop g5 blunder, I mean not an obvious one, but I guess he missed the intermediate bishop c5 check, controlling e3, and then f6. And now complications happened in a position that the engine already says it's equal, but white is losing a pawn. So there, and 97 in the end. So not so hard to calculate. Yeah, not so hard to calculate. I'm not sure what the time situation was. They're blitzing out moves at this point, so there might be both in time trouble. And bishop g5 was played in 38 seconds, so yeah. Yeah, very fast. I'm guessing he missed the move. He spent many time in previous moves. I don't know. Maybe he missed, maybe not. Well, if you see it and you do it, okay. So 97, queen f3, passive. I guess he didn't like queen e6. Queen e6 would have been my first option unless something's wrong. Bishop d4, rook a2 maybe. Whoa, rook f1, going for the attack. And what happens after e4 now? Isn't e4 winning? Rook f8 was played. Isn't e4 winning like the rook? What am I missing? Am I missing? I don't know. Pawn takes queen is check, so there's no bishop f4. Queen takes e4. Ah, the knight is hanging on e7. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Queen takes e4. Haha. And well, you have to calculate though, because you have to calculate this. What happens here? Rook takes f6, rook takes f6, rook takes f6 might be killing, right? Takes f6, rook e8. Still complicated. Rook takes f6, rook e8. you gotta calculate this. Black doesn't need to risk it though. Yeah, I guess she was in time trouble. Bishop h6 instead of rook h6. Instead of six, rook g8. Rook f8 was a fine move. The rook sacked on d8. Bishop g5 maybe. Bishop g5 instead of bishop h6. Rook takes f6 now. Okay. Let's go. Let's see one and then the other. Let's say first bishop g5. That Bobby said. Bishop g5. So the point is, if I take, you go rook f7. I mean, here I'm considering queen here is not working. But is the idea rook f7 here? Because after rook takes, there might be not. I'm not sure if you take or not on h7, but anyway, you have mate here, so you have to take my rook. How do you take it? You take it like this, I guess. Do I have any perpetuals here? calculating this would be so tough, so tough. And the problem for black here, okay, maybe there are some perpetuals. I don't know whether to start with queen c2 or with queen c6. I guess queen c2. But one problem black has is that rook f8 check will always be answered with queen takes rook. So yeah, this seems like a perpetual, but it's hard to assess. I guess in some lines the queen can block, but then we trade and take the rook. So I guess this is a perpetual because the queen can never block. That's a tough line. Hey Goku. So bishop g5, yeah, interesting rook f7, but rook takes d7 might save. And the other line was bishop g6, rook g8, and rook takes f6, you said. Rook takes f6. And what was my natural defense against rook takes f6 in the previous example? A rook e8. And here, rook e8. Hey Goku. Rook e8, if I go, no, there's bishop g7 here. Aha, there's bishop g7 here. Well, there's bishop g7, yeah, but rook f8. Well, still not sure whether this should be winning for white, right? Is this the league you're playing in? No, this is the championship, the Galician Championship. I'm not playing this year. Opposite color bishops, never easy to win. What are you doing? What did I do? Rook f8, rook takes f8. I didn't play rook f8, did I? Here. Yeah, so then queen takes. Yeah, sorry, my bad. And is this winning for white? It seems so. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess after bishop h6, we might not be able to play rook g8. We have to go f5. We might have to go f5 here. Oh, is Joey streaming already? And she didn't say anything. Roar. Terrible. Terrible. Okay, so what was this? You're here? It's not terrible. But I see you're streaming, aren't you not? Are you not streaming? So just doing commentary, I guess. I'm sure you know most of these players. Yeah, I know most of them, yeah. I don't know what this line was about. It was about e4 that seemed winning for black. Then there's a lot to calculate. She's streaming. Okay. Watching both of you on multi-twitch. Thanks. Okay, so instead of e4, she went for rook f8 after thinking for a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna finish watching this game and I'm gonna raid Joey because I need a break. I prefer to watch something instead of chess. I'm full of chess. But thankfully my chess class was suspended today, so I can relax. Rook bb1, saving the rook. Rook a8, and now black is active. Bishop b4 attacking the knight, rook f7, no, bishop c5, take, and he will defend the pawn, no, rook b7. I would have gone rook a1 probably. I was full of football, then when it finished I came back to chess. Yeah, that's cool. I should be. I think I've been with chess. Well, I've been with chess definitely yesterday all day. I've been with chess yesterday all night streaming, and I've been with chess all day today. It would be nice to go like with something that is not chess. So it's my bad, of course. It's me doing this, but I'm just complaining to myself. I need to go running or something. Okay, so rook b7, attacking RAR. Queen a5, not caring about the knight. Bishop e6. Rook a e8. That's interesting. So there was a problem with rook f e8. "11 seconds she spent to do that move. Oh yeah, there's a problem, of course, f6. Okay, don't listen to me. Look, I'm so tired for chess. No, I cannot do more chess. Wish we could run together. Yeah, that would be so nice. So Joey, I'm gonna raid you, and I might be in the chat, but I'm gonna try not to look at the board. I need a rest from chess. So bishop e6, rook a8, rook there, going to d7, f5 rar. Don't do it. Don't do what? Raid you? I'm going to end soon, I think. It's impossible to get away from football when you're living in Manchester. Yeah, and it's a Champions League week where their biggest clubs are playing. I can guess, yeah. Well, don't do it. I don't know if you mean raiding you, but I'm gonna raid you. I mean, I'm gonna finish after watching this game because I need a break from chess. That's it. Decided. I just decided. Queen e3, e4. And when I don't know if Whiskey's still in the chat. When Whiskey's phone is charged, I would love to watch something. Queen g5. I might watch something also after the raid. I'm going to have dinner. What's the time? I should have dinner, yeah. Rook f6. Black is still defending, but at the same time black is holding everything, and in the end she has too many pawns. So you raid her, then she raids Rosen. Is Eric streaming too? Bishop back to d7, the bishop was attacked, doubling on the bubble. And he took a pawn, but this feels so risky. Why did he go there? Was it necessary? Playing Euro Rapid, oh, the Euro Rapid Arena, okay, cool. Well, I'm not sure about bishop takes f5, seems so risky to me, so risky. For example, after rook any rook to a pawn is a pawn, yeah, but that pawn opens the f file and rook f2 will happen, you know? So after rook 8 f7, the bishop is attacked, has to move. I don't know. A pawn is a pawn, but does it feel risky only to me, that move bishop takes f5? I mean, rook f2, king g1, then what? Then what? Then queen takes a4. Okay, maybe there's some queen e5 check idea. So instead of queen takes a4, maybe we go queen c3. Okay, let's put that line in the board. Actually, I don't know what she played. Maybe she played rook. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. So bishop had to move. Okay, and now rook f2. No, queen takes a4. So she preferred to take the pawn. Okay, that makes sense. A pawn is a pawn, right? But rook f2 is going to be there forever. So you said king g1, then what? Then I thought slowly but surely bringing pieces, because if there's, as long as there are no checks, and now we're controlling queen e5 check, I don't see white's threats. So my next move is queen f3, but not bishop d7 back. Okay, okay, maybe you're right. It blocks the d file. Yeah, maybe on h3 would prevent this idea of queen f3. But it's so sad to put it there. So let's put it on g4, defending the rook. Rook f2 check. It also controls f3, so there's no queen f3 ideas. And yeah, I think I would go... To be honest, there's the c7 threat too. This position is so complicated. But now with this rook on f2, it feels to me that white could have gone the same ideas without opening the f file. That's what I mean. Rook takes e7 threat. Okay, queen a6. Queen e5 check. Again. Well, queen e5, king h6, and there are no checks. Rook takes e7. Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm not threatening anything. I thought I was threatening rook f1. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, queen takes a4. The problem is the rook is defended now on d1. Rook takes e7. And then, yeah. Huh. Very, very interesting position. So maybe, yeah, maybe keeping the rook on f6 is clever. She did, but she did after bishop d7. So maybe after bishop g4 she would have taken on a4 exactly as in the game. So the rook on f6 stops rook takes e7 and stops any check on e5. So we only do rook f2 when we have a strong idea, but we need to think what to do against c7. Maybe queen c2 check is just game over. Rook dd7 instead of c7. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, again, the queen c2 check, I think it's a bit annoying. Maybe the king is safe on h3, I don't know. Well, the king has to go there, right? now there's no doubt. With the rook on d1 there was a doubt, now there's no doubt. The king has to go there. And rook f2 maybe? Or queen f2? I think rook f2. Ah, this is the check. There's always the check. Oh, but again, against the check I go to h6. That's funny. And I like black. Okay, let's see what happened after bishop d7. So she took on a4, and white cannot go rook d7. So and the rook is hanging now. That's a much worse version. So rook e1. Yeah, spending this tempo. Ay ay ay. Ah, but he's trying to play c7. Yeah, but c7, queen c2 check. King h1. Yeah, bishop d7 is trying to sort of defend tactically the pawn on a4, because now he has the ideas to what kind of ideas? c7, queen takes d7. Well, I'm dumb. Sorry. Yeah, bishop d7 is not working very well. Now c5 is hanging. Let's see how the game continued. Queen d4, going to f2. Yeah, this looks terrible for white now. As long as the queen hits the bishop, there's no c7. And of course there are also attacking ideas that would very well prevent it anyway. c7. So rook e b1, going all in. So the idea after any check is to go to h1. He goes to g1. Queen e3 check. Maybe she wants to trade queens. h5. Oh. Okay, queen has to move. Rook f2 check. Now if king h1, well, king g1 of course is out of the question. If king h1, there's rook f1, but still not clear. There might be something better, maybe. Rook takes h2, takes, check there. Well, there's rook d2. Well, this seems hopeless for white. I was trying to decide whether king h1 was better than king h3. He played king h3, but yeah, I thought rook d2 in this line too. Yeah, rook d2 was played. And now the other rook comes to f2. So it's time to resign. Queen b3, trying to trade queens. I would play rook f2 anyway. Rook f2 here, if I'm missing anything. She goes with the queen. And and bishop e8. Ah, I hate when this happens. This is not a blunder, is it? I mean, whenever you can sacrifice a queen. Is it a blunder? I'm very capable. Yeah, it's winning. Ah, the queen is defended by the rook on b7 too, so we're not winning the queen. Okay. Okay, that was a complicated game, very complex game. I think I could go over it several times and even with the engine still not understand everything, but cool. So what's the situation? Tomorrow is the last round and the standings. How are the standings? Well, many draws in the top boards, so we don't see the points that they have. Let me see on info 64 if I can find it. No, I cannot. Ugh. It's not here. 1 second. Info 64 here. And this way I can see all the results too. They're still playing. No, this is not live. Okay, sorry. No, I didn't want to click there. 1 second. So let's go back. Okay, let's see the pairings for tomorrow. That way we'll see the classification too. Okay, so we have 5 players with 5.5 points, and 4 of them are unexpected, are not from the main favorites. So the main favorite is this one, Diego. He's playing with the white pieces against Samu. Samu in general is not a favorite to win the tournament, so it wouldn't be surprising if Diego with the white pieces after drawing today with the black pieces against Marcos. It wouldn't be surprising if Diego wins tomorrow with the white pieces and therefore wins the tournament. So this is the main candidate to win. Which would be nice because I lost 2 games this year, losing one of them against the Galician champion. That would be nice. Just kidding. Yeah, but these guys, 2100s, are unexpectedly there. Including Ines, although Ines is half a point behind. Half a point behind is another of the favorites, International Master Julio Suarez, who plays another favorite, International Master Diego Guerra. They're going to be away from the, maybe not from the podium, if one of them wins, maybe enters the podium. Depending on what happens here, maybe if the draws happen. Another of the favorites is here, half a point behind too. And a full point behind another of the favorites. Not the best tournament for him. What do we have? So we have Javier Barral here doing an incredible tournament from the team Marquinhos. We're going to face them in the last round of the Chess League in a week, basically. This is another guy that I played in this current chess league, but I won the game. Pablo is here. Pablo played against us too. He lost against a teammate. Thanks, Bobby. Martin is here. Where are my teammates? My teammates are here. I think I have only one teammate. 3 points, and he's playing Damafe. He's gonna finish on 3 points. Yeah, he did a good tournament so far, but yeah. And this is a very strange case. Well, one of the favorites is out of the tournament by some health issues, but this is a very strange case. Alejandro Vitorero, this is a 1700, and he plays like a 1700. I mean, he's not stronger than that. Nevertheless, he did a great first round, defeating one of the favorites. That was strange. And then, how was the rest of the tournament? Losing, winning, drawing against an 1800. That's good. Winning against an 1800, that's good, and losing to Alvaro. Galician Championship without Pepe, like US champs without Naka. Yeah, NACA of Galicia, of course. No, not even close. Okay, guys, thank you, and let's go watch Joanna. See you later. Bye bye. Don't raid, I'm ending. What? You raid? Okay, yesterday you raided a stream that was offline, so